Welcome to the Source Code Podcast with your host, Mr. SAJ.
Mr. JAY.
Bringing you the latest.
And the greatest.
Starts your week.
This is amazing, bro. I love it.
We got rid of our intro, but Ralph likes it, so we're going to keep the whole thing.
Definitely
that's it,
the whole
man. We're
thing,
going to do it.
So grab your PG tips.
Stay tuned for that motherfucking drip.
Right,
man.
we need that again. Like, the people deserve it on their own.
Rewind that. Reload that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Two more and I'm on Kano level.
Welcome to the Source Code Podcast with your host, Mr. SAJ.
Mr. JAY.
Bringing you the latest.
And the greatest.
Starts your week.
So grab your PG tips.
Stay tuned for that motherfucking drip.
Right.
Easy.
Before we even start with anything, Ralphie, man, introduce yourself, brother.
Introduce myself.
We've got Early Turtle in the building.
Early Turtle in the building. Love light, darkness sometimes, you know, but Early Turtle taking my time.
Yeah, man.
Oh, camera there.
Yeah, man.
That's your
you.
camera.
Take my time. Love light. I've already said that. I'm just an Early Turtle podcast guy, and if you want to enjoy some stuff, just listen up.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll plug all the socials at the end
I
as
get
well.
nervous when people put me on the spot, you know. Really? Yeah, you know.
No, so what we normally do is we'll just kind of like talk for ages and then we'll just like trim it down. So if there's anything that you don't want us to put in,
No.
we'll just cut it out.
I'm happy for you guys to just say anything. Like, I mean, ask me anything or just
Mate,
do whatever.
I'm an open book, bro.
I like being on the
That's
spot
it. That's
sometimes.
what we
I like
do,
being
innit?
nervous. Actually, it's weird, you know. I
yeah.
like being nervous.
As long as you don't incriminate yourself in any way.
Yeah, I was
we're
gonna
good.
say like that's number one, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
So we've not. Let's address the elephant in the room. We've been off the grid
Yeah,
for a little
100%.
while. Why is that? Do you think?
So-
Other than us just being stupid.
So we've had some technical issues, like big major things. But on
Like
top of that,
being lazy.
being mad, that's
technical-
one technical
that's a
issue. Do you know what I'm saying?
technical,
But
yeah.
we'll get past that technical one. But then obviously the other things which we've had some things going on in my life at the moment. So obviously I've been focusing on that. So there's a lot of stuff with family. I'm just trying to, obviously, one of the issues I had is that the videos that we normally have for the podcast, I normally edit on my Mac, but then my Mac broke, so I had to put it in for repair.
Oh yeah,
And I was
because you do
like,
the editing, do you?
Yeah. Well, you do the audio. You do the audio. Yeah, but obviously the lazy
Man, that sucks,
technician
does all the editing.
obviously didn't even release the audio, so obviously we didn't have nothing there. So
nothing,
it's a
that's true.
50-50. Let's you know.
Yeah,
So
you know
we
what?
got
Like, you guys share the blame.
no one's got to share the
You
blame.
know what I rate, right? Your computer broke. What does he do? He builds one. His computer breaks, so he builds a new one.
Tell me more. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
man.
Who
So
are you?
basically, what happened was obviously I've always used Mac like pretty much my whole life since ever since I got to uni. And obviously, I've been doing I did media studies, and I've always been into video editing and video production. Now, one of the things that happened was when I got my new Mac, I was like, yeah, I'm ready, man. Got what I'm saying? Got the latest thing.
Yeah.
You get me, big. I was like,
gassed.
I was just gassed. You get me, new machine and that. And then when I started editing one of the videos for one of the episodes that we had was Raheem Al-Amin was in the building, and we recorded the video and stuff for his podcast. And what I tried to do is I was trying to make a compilation of his music videos alongside some obviously information and stuff that we're talking about potentially that the guests
cut the
may
story
not
short,
know.
man.
However,
that's
what
hard,
you
that's
mean, man? This is a podcast, man. You gotta talk. You get me? Cut the
for
story
it, bro.
short.
Wrap it up soon,
Shut your markers. But so when I was doing that, obviously every time I was trying to render a video, I was just having an issue. So I booked it in, Baby's a Genius Bar. However, they couldn't repair it, so they just offered me a refund. So at the time, I was thinking like, yo, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna buy another Mac, or should I build my own PC?
Wow.
So then I thought about it. Price to price, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Like I'm gonna build
Let's
it.
just do it. Yeah.
So I spent obviously the time when I didn't have my Mac, I was just researching parts and I was watching videos and I was chatting to some of my colleagues at work, and they even told me how they've done their own systems. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm gonna do
Let's
it.
just do it. Yeah.
So then I ordered all the parts. They arrived on one day, and literally one of my boys, because he was really interested as well, he was like, yo, let me come down, let me just watch how you do things in it.
Wow.
So me and him both just sat down for like 4 hours, worked on it, got it all put together again, and that was it, man.
was
PC's
it. Worked
built,
first
innit?
time.
And it worked first time.
And it looks actually sick, bro. He's got all the LEDs and shit.
Banging. I'll put obviously we're doing the
definitely
videos for this.
put it
I'll
out there,
put
bro.
a little
That's
video on this, and I'll show you the
see,
system.
That's impressive, bro.
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's really finicky, but at the same time, like a lot of
what?
people told me finicky.
Is that a word?
Yeah, man. Check it. Bro, check it right now. Don't try to test me with my
Yeah, I feel
literature.
like
Don't test me.
Don't test my literature.
Here,
I thought
like
it
a
was-
fact checker.
Finicky. I thought it was Pinickety.
Nah, finicky.
Finicky.
Finiky.
It sounds like
It's
what it's
all-
meant to
all like
sound
the-
like. To be
He's,
fair.
he's actually right.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Finicky.
You know what it is, yeah?
actually
Man,
right.
like, wait, hold on. Talking about those words, what's that word? Unbeknownst. Me and him were having a conversation the other day, yeah? And he turns around and he goes to me,
love
yeah,
how you
it's
just remembered.
unbeknownst. And I was like, right, Shakespeare in the building or something? Like,
think it was a
when
word?
do you hear that in a conversation?
you know what I mean?
Ralph, tell me, when have you heard that word
That is the first
unbeknownst?
time I've heard that word, you know.
What did I say?
Bro, you
What did
shouted
I
my
say?
name.
What did I say?
That's so unbeknown is like the verb, and unbeknownst
Unbeknownst.
is the adjective.
Okay, yeah. All right, okay, that
but you
makes
know,
sense now, yeah.
just because I got that vocabulary, you couldn't understand it. Man.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
you know,
what it was.
man said finicky and he's like,
Bro,
what? Is that even a
you
word?
live
cuz?
and you learn, bro.
Right, anecdotes aside. So basically,
Let's get
the
into it.
universe aligned me and Ralph, and we met, and we did a podcast.
Yeah,
and the
it was
people
an
loved
amazing.
it.
It was an amazing experience, and it was
Yeah.
called Experience.
It
Shall I tell you
was.
what the thing is with the Early Turtle podcast?
Yeah.
I don't plan it. So let's say I'm sitting with someone. I have something I want to say to them, and I have something that I'd want them to say to me, because that's the reason why I'd get them on the podcast. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, I like this guy,
find out more,
or I
yeah.
like that girl. I'd like to hear more about her, and I'd like to get into their mind and see what they think about this and their life and whatever else. But I never think of a topic. Never. I just sit with them, and like whatever keeps coming up over and over and over again. That'll be it.
That's where we're going wrong, mate. Because we sit
Wait,
down
no,
and we're
no, no.
like, we're going to talk about this,
You're
and
not.
this.
That's not where you're going wrong, bro. Let me tell you something about this podcasting journey, or any sort of artist or creative that's out there. It's all a learning process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Now you know, and then you're gonna try that, and
Yeah.
bro, that might not work for you. Structure probably works for you more than anything else. You know what I mean? But I just like to go with the flow, and then. We were talking about different experiences and different
Yeah,
things.
I mean, you know
That's
what?
why I called it experience.
When I listened
That's
to
how it
that,
goes.
I couldn't believe that we didn't plan that.
Bro, mad.
Because like you came round and we were like, should we just do a podcast?
Should we just do it? I was
Yeah,
like, let's
man.
just test this mic out, bro. Let's just do
Mate,
it.
and it
then-
was good because one of the people that listened to our podcast gave me some feedback on it, and they were like, normally it's just you chatting shit, but this was actually interesting.
Right.
Shall I tell you what it is,
I feel like I'm kind of to blame for that one.
No,
then.
no,
Yeah,
no. But
Man wasn't in this
Can I tell you
podcast.
something? No. The thing is, we will most likely do it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
I don't
you,
know
bro.
how.
You're
but
the common
we'll-
denominator,
No,
mate.
no. Because you've got some questions to ask as well, or something.
Yeah,
like
I've got
you
some
said
questions
earlier.
I wanna ask.
So we'll just see how that goes, bro. But the thing is, I want to let you know that I really enjoyed that experience with you, bro.
Yeah, I did, bro.
It was amazing, bro. Just to sit there with someone that I had never. People thought we were friends, bro. Like we'd
Innit?
known each other for time.
Yeah, it did
You
sound
know
like
what I
that,
mean?
though, to
It
be
did.
fair.
It does actually sound like that,
Man,
Bro,
I love it. That when me and Saj first met, it was the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
Just click straight
How
away.
did you two meet?
We started working together. We were in the
for
same
real.
interview, so in the interview we just kind of linked up on the lunch break, and
Yeah,
That's
man.
amazing, bro. And then you've created.
the rest is history. Oh yeah,
This is it.
You've created
the
that.
Source
bro.
Code.
Created a Source Code
You know what I mean?
podcast.
It's the Early Turtle podcast.
Where do you want it to go? What do you want to do with it? You just haven't. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I feel like when we were anticipating starting the podcast, it was a lot different to now we're actually
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh,
Because
okay,
like I
yeah.
don't know if it was the same for you, but like when we were like planning it, we had all these like preconceptions of how it would be, and how people would respond,
Right.
how we would feel, and nothing was the way that we expected it to. So
Okay.
I guess. I don't know, man. This is just like we've got
See, I
we've
think-
got a few like loyal listeners who
Yeah.
and we just talk about shit, man.
Yeah,
100%.
I think that's the most amazing part as well. Like I was telling you earlier, like when I put something out and then I get feedback, or I'm like, people are actually listening. People actually like it, and it's like, yo, this is crazy. It's an amazing feeling. So that gets me going a little bit like more and actually putting stuff out there. And whatever else.
100%.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I think as well, like when we first started it, it was more to do like, oh, so what are we gonna do with it? How are we gonna take it, kind of thing. And I think the more conversations we had, it was more to do with like, no, we do this because it's a bit of a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's nice just to sit down, have a little chat,
Absolutely, get
learn some new
things on your
things,
chest.
you know, meet some new people. And honestly, it's just nice because even if obviously the podcast doesn't blow or it's
Yeah.
not making major money or whatever like that, for us, it's just a time that we can spend with
it's
new
just
people.
time together, yeah, with new people. I think that's what's been amazing as well, man. Just the people that want to come on the Early Turtle podcast as well. It's like, yo, this is amazing. I just feel like I keep going round and round and round like Liverpool, and then meeting new people, and I think that's it's amazing. It's an amazing
Yeah,
experience,
man.
bro. Like I can't wait to have like more people on there and like really here. Do you know what it is? I'm just a little bit nosy. That's not why I started the Early Turtle podcast. I started it for much bigger reasons, but I'm nosy. I really want to know what other people think about different issues.
Mate, I'm the same, because like I'll hear a podcast and I'll want to ask questions. Like,
Yeah.
do you ever listen to a podcast
Bro,
and
and
you
you're
feel
like,
like you're in the room and you almost speak and you're like, I want to find out about this. I want
amazing,
to.
yeah.
And sometimes I listen to a podcast and they haven't asked something that I would have asked. And
yes.
it's like, it's annoying. Like,
Yes.
it's like a scratch that you haven't
Yes,
itched.
like- Oh, like if I was there right now, like I'm here right now, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions.
Yeah, bro. We're live and direct.
Live and direct.
First question
That's
though,
the
bro.
way.
Where did Early Turtle come from?
Mate, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This has been it has been a bit of a journey for me, but I think it does fit with the Early Turtle thing because there was days where I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna start this thing called Early Turtle Podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, actually no, I don't think I want it anymore. How are people gonna respond? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I'm like, oh no, I don't like.
It must be
I have
scary doing it
days,
by
bro.
yourself though, bro.
Yeah, man. It is.
Because like it's just you, man,
Bro.
and I rate that so much that you're doing this on your own, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It is scary. I am
Yeah.
scared. I think I mentioned it in probably my first podcast because I spoke about Early Turtle. I put it out there in August.
Yeah.
And didn't put out anything until it was 9 weeks later or something like that. Just because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I didn't
Bring
have it
yourself
in
to
me.
it.
I didn't have the strength in me to actually put it out there. And then I did it, and then never stopped. But I have times where I like relapse, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I really want to do this. And then
Once you lose the momentum, it's hard to, like, because that's what we
Yeah.
find, man. Like,
horrible feeling.
100%.
Yeah.
if we're on the motive to be doing the podcast, then we'll consistently do it. But if we have if we take 1 week off, it's very easy to take the next week off,
Yeah.
and then the next week off, and then something comes up, and then
Yeah, things are definitely changing though. I'm starting to find my path and my stride, and things will become a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
So the Early Turtle is basically like a yin yang type thing. When people think turtle, they think, oh, slow, this, that, the other, la 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 la. Sometimes it has a bit of negative connotations, like, slow
Being
and whatever
slow,
else.
yeah.
And then the early, being early to something, being there first, being awake, being ready, being, you know what I mean? So it's like putting the good onto something that might be bad. And that's how I've always seen myself. Like, I know I have like a little bit of darkness in me. I know, I know the bad things about myself, man. I know the negative things about myself, and I'm starting to be very, very aware of it. But at the same time, I can add a positive spin to it, and I know I will be better than I was yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So it's basically it's a sign of positivity, bro. The Early Turtle, bro. Like if I hire a turtle today, he might be late, bro, but like I know tomorrow, like he'll be early, innit? Like there'll come a time where he'll be an early turtle and he'll be living.
I like
bro.
that,
I think
like-
quite literally though he would be early because if you ask the turtle to come now, it takes slow time to get here.
Do you know what I mean?
But he might turn up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be like, "Oh, man's here, you get
Exactly,
me?"
yeah.
Because if I'm a turtle and I know that I'm slow, I will try and be early.
And that's right. That's mate.
Is that what it is?
That's what
I never thought about that.
I am really. So I know my negative. I know my flaws.
Yeah.
So I do whatever I can to get rid of those flaws by being like better.
To, like,
Does that-
counter
does
them.
that make
It
sense?
does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the turtle was like, I've got to get in tomorrow at this time. La, 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 la. What can I do to? All right, you know what?
I'll be early.
I'll be early.
Yeah,
How am I
yeah.
going to be early? And then you start thinking, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I can't believe I'm saying this on here, but like sometimes I wake up in the morning and without anything going on, I get anxious.
Really?
Right?
What? Like
Yeah.
as soon as you open your eyes?
No. Like when I'm getting ready for, like, you can ask any of my friends, when I'm getting ready, it takes me ages.
Yeah.
I can't pick what I want to wear. Like nothing matches, nothing goes together, bro. I'm like, and then I sort of self-destruct, like
Yeah.
right there. And people have seen this before, and they're like, "Yo," and I was like, "Oh, how can I make this better?" And I was like, "Oh, planning." So right now I've started to plan. I pick clothes out that I want to wear
The night before.
the night before, and like, because when I sit there and I can't pick what I want to wear, I'm going to be late for work, late to meet a friend, la 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 la. And that's the Early Turtle, by the way, because I have this really bad. I'm usually quite late. I've got this really bad flaw.
You were late today, to be fair.
Yeah. See what I mean, bro?
I'm joking, bro.
We
My
just
mum's
we had
upstairs.
those upstairs. I thought you were upstairs, bro. As a young child, as a young boy, I was always late. I always overthought things, and that went into the clothes as well, because I like dressing, and I like going out looking good and feeling good, but. So I start to overthink what I'm wearing.
Is
and
that
whatever
is being late directly related to worrying about what you're going to wear, or is it other? Is that
It's
an
other
umbrella?
things, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be a lot of things.
Do you know
isn't
what it is? My mind is right. I'll explain this. I'll try to explain this. My mind is like in the future
Yeah.
already. I'm already seeing what I'm gonna do. La 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 la.
Visualization.
I'm already visualizing what I want to do and la 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 la. So when I'm in the moment now and I'm not and I'm not at peace and whatever else, everything starts to crumble. So I can't see the future. I can't see
Yeah.
it. So I start panicking. I'm like, is this gonna happen? La 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 la. And I just sit there and I'm like, I have like a breakdown. It's the maddest.
It's the uncertainty. Isn't
It's the
it?
uncertainty,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm following what I'm following. The early turtle is my little reminder that, bro, just relax.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Just one step at a time.
Yeah.
Take your time. Stay at peace. You can do it. Like, you be calm. Like, the day will start and the day will end like the way you want it to do.
One of the
But
great things
just
that I read in a
relax.
book, we were talking about quotes last time you were over.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember that quote that I mentioned? This is from the same book, right? It's not really a quote because I can't remember it word for word, but it was about like compartmentalizing the days.
Yeah.
So like, don't worry about tomorrow. Like, don't worry about tomorrow. Only worry about what's in the day tight compartments.
Yes.
So
Yes.
forget about what happened yesterday.
Yes.
Don't worry about what happens tomorrow. I mean, obviously plan ahead,
Yeah.
but like compartmentalize your days
Yeah.
is going to make things a lot easier for you.
Absolutely.
That's what I found.
I totally agree with that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to just know what you're gonna do in it. Like, just be in where you are now in it.
Yeah.
Like, and just sitting it. I'm really enjoying being here right now. Actually,
That's
I'm
it,
really
man.
enjoying
Live
hearing
for the
what-
day, innit?
I
Live
want
for
to hear
the
what
day,
you man
man.
might, like think of like different things as well. Like, I always say that, but like, yeah. So that's the early turtle. That's the early
Mate,
turtle.
I like that, because like, I
That's the
didn't
I
really
get
think
that.
about it on that level until you said.
I
but-
think it's one of those, isn't it? Because like you've got like a meaning for yourself.
For myself,
because it's
yeah.
like, even though like obviously everyone's out there trying to have their own thing going on, it's got to mean something to you,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
It can't just be something for show.
Yeah,
you
it
know
helps.
what I'm saying?
It's not a thing for show at all, because if it was something for show, I'm pretty sure I think of something way flashier and whatever else, like the
The Louis Vuitton turtle.
I don't know, yeah, the Louis Vuitton turtle, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the early
insecure
turtle, bro,
turtle.
it's literally something that helps me stay on my own path.
Yeah.
It helps me stay, even though I might be, people might think, oh, bro, okay, basically, yeah, we live in a mad world, bro. We live in a crazy world that
Tell
is
us
so,
about
it's
it, love.
controlled by madness,
Mate,
bro.
no one knows what's going on, bro.
Everybody's competing against each other, bro. You
Yeah,
think a
man.
turtle's gonna compete against any like lion or whatever,
So I
bro?
don't give a fuck.
Turtle's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and that's what, when I was younger, I used to compare myself to loads of people, and that never brought me happiness. So I was like, do you know what? This is a little thing that I can remember, bro. I usually have a turtle on my neck, and I have a turtle there, just as reminders.
Oh, shit.
Just like
He does have a turtle there.
this is who I am, bro.
That's
so
sick.
obviously I'm just taking my time.
And you got the green, you're rocking
And I got the green, bro. Like, I wear a lot of earthy colours, to be fair.
Yeah, I like that, I've
Yeah.
noticed that even on Instagram, like the text is always green.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's just. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Everything I do is just a reminder of just being who you are,
Yeah,
being who
man.
you are every single day.
That's so
because
important, bro.
it is, bro. Because you slip, bro. I know man them, yeah, who are on. Every one of my friends, look at him, he went for the water. That's life, by the way. That's another thing about being like anxious about stuff. When you go for that and it's not there, you're like, yo,
Thrown off by it.
You're just thrown off, bro, and
Yeah.
everything throws you off balance, and you're like,
yeah.
from that point on, you've just got to control yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm used to like, like once you're used to something happening over and over again and it doesn't happen,
Yeah.
it just goes.
Get rid of your expectations.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
that's a good way.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of unhappiness comes from people's expectations not been met.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. But think, let me paint this picture for you. Even worse than that,
Yeah.
people are unhappy because of the expectations. You might want to go a little bit to that side. Yeah. Expectations of the world. Nobody's ever met the world, and nobody's ever met anybody else in like society. But we're controlled by society. Society tells us what to do and whatever, and how to act. Get this nice flashy car because girls will like it. Oh, bro, but I can't afford it. Get it anyway. Get it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, but this it's not worth it. No, get it. People will think you're cool and that, and then all of a sudden, you're down this massive rabbit hole that you can't get yourself out of. You're spending money that you can't afford. You're buying clothes that you can't afford. For what?
Mate,
For people's validation.
It's really important, man.
I was going to say, because I think that kind of falls into the big thing of capitalism, really. Because obviously for us as a society and where we live, we're so, in a westernized world anyway, everything's all about, showing off.
Yeah.
But like, what's the point, man? You know what I mean? Like, just be you. Just
be who you are.
You don't need to go out there to try and impress every single person.
Yeah.
If you wear something or you speak about something or you have something that you believe yourself, as long as it's not affecting anyone else and it works for you, do it,
then
man.
just do your thing.
Do you see what I mean?
How differently would you live your life, right? And this is a really interesting, like, mental exercise. How much?
I love it when he's about to. When he has a little discllaimer for what he's about to say.
Imagine how differently your life would be if there was nobody else in the world. And obviously, I'm not. It's not practical. Like, obviously, we can't live in a world where there's nobody else. But like, if there was nobody to be impressed by your new shoes or your new car, or if there was nobody to be impressed by, how much money you've got, how much differently would you live your life?
Oh, that's a good question. It's like, have you ever seen Wall-E?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually.
You never seen Wall-E?
I've never seen Wall-E,
You need to
Ross.
check that out, bro.
How have you not seen Wall-E, man?
Essential.
There's a million
my
films I haven't
God.
seen, mate. Add it to the list, bro.
Shall I tell you what I haven't seen that everybody's like, you need to watch it,
Yeah.
Matrix.
I've
So you've not seen The Matrix?
It's shit, bro.
I can't wait to watch
See,
it, bro.
Matrix
Apparently it
1.
just explains
Matrix
life
1
and
was
whatever it
okay.
is.
Matrix 1 was okay.
There's more than one.
Yeah, there's like 2 and 3 and all this kind of stuff.
Do you know what?
It's
I'll
been a
ask you
while
guys
since I watched it,
question
though.
about the Matrix and what it's about later, actually. But your question: what would the world be like?
Because I try and like if I ever learn like an interesting philosophy, whether I've read it in a book or whether someone's told it me, I always try and lead my life according to that.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same,
because it's interesting because like, there's a lot of things that you like don't think about that's like you just do out of routine.
Yeah.
That when you question them, it's like, why am I buying this? Why am I doing this? Like, there's some things that I catch myself doing that's purely for other people's gratification.
Yeah.
Why would I want to live my life to impress other people?
Yeah.
I don't care, man.
Yeah.
I literally don't care. Like,
That's we're raised to seek the approval of our parents, and then we go to school, so we seek the approval of our peers, and then our teachers. We all some of us really trying to impress our teachers, our favorite teacher. Do you know what I mean? And then in society, whilst you're growing up, you're like, you realize you start seeing the people who are it happens. There's class everywhere. You start seeing the ones that are popular. Okay, why are they popular? What are they wearing? What they're doing? La 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 la. And then everybody starts following.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
it's interesting to observe, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's so interesting to observe.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
See, when you mention that about like obviously how like when you see different peoples and different levels about how popular someone is, one of the things which I've always been quite, I think I was quite well with anyways. I'm quite an open person, so if I saw someone who wasn't very like the most popular person in the world, I'm not gonna go up to them and be like, oh, you're not popular, you must be a proper weirdo.
You
innit?
must be-
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand why they are who they are. So it's like get an understanding, and then for instance, you'll be like, oh, they're this such a sick person.
Yeah, the cool person.
There was a guy I used to live with at uni in third year. He's what's it called, a software developer.
Wow.
And like the way he would talk normally, for a lot of people, they'll be a bit put off by him,
Right, okay.
because they didn't really understand where he was coming from.
Right.
But then the more time I spent with him, like he's not like the most popular person in the world. He's just not always out there. He's not blinging or anything like that. He's just a normal guy. And like the conversations I had with him and like the things he's told me and the things I've learned from him, I was like, wow, you're such an interesting guy.
Yeah.
But then if you put it into that kind of system of like popularity, he would be missed, innit? No one would even know about it.
Mate,
I know
a lot of people like that.
I and it's some of them completely of choice.
You reckon, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There are very,
I guess.
very intelligent people out there who know how to make it and know how to be popular. Because, bro, being popular is very, very easy. Really, really, really easy thing to
think?
do. I absolutely think so, no doubt about it.
I don't agree.
Right, okay. No, you can tell me why
Tell
in a
me-
minute.
tell me why you think that.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
why. Because, one, it's easy to get the attention of a bunch of people. Think about Trump. He's actually popular, but he's an idiot. But there's something in his mechanism that he's doing to get the attention of loads of people.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Is that conscious though?
Sorry?
Is that conscious?
I don't think he's clever enough. I think the people around him, the team that he has around him,
Yeah.
are actually are doing it consciously. No doubt about it.
I think
bro.
he knows what he's doing, bro.
See, I think he
Like,
does as well.
He's a businessman, bro.
That's it. He's not a politician.
Yeah. No,
he's not. Yeah.
When he got into power, the biggest reason why he had so much power because of the amount of real estate he owns in the US.
Yeah, absolutely.
So growing up from a young age, because his parents were always rich, he's been put into the system where it goes off that message as who you know, not what you know.
Yes.
He's got money.
Yes.
All he has to do is buy stuff. He will meet the people along the way, and that's it. That's how it keeps going popular and popular.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how it works anyway. But let's talk on I don't know why I took it to Trump, but let's talk on a smaller scale. The hardest thing to do as a popular person is be who you are, who you truly are, and if you were to be who you truly are and be popular, that's hard. That's a tough thing to do. So
that's
my
true,
brother.
man. Yeah.
Big up Fapu Raf, DJ. Big up Sticky as well. Like, those two people are... When I look at them, I'm like, authentic. They're being themselves.
You can recognize it in a person.
You can just see it in the energy that they put out and the spirit that they put out. They're just being who they are. But I don't know if they describe themselves as popular, but people like being around them. Do you know what I mean? And that's an amazing thing. But then you can see popular people who are like the blings and the da and the. I'm not hating on anybody because I'm not mentioning anybody else. But my point is, there are people like that were in school that you could tell you're not really. You need this. You need people loving you.
Yeah.
Or else if you didn't, you would crumble. Do you know what I mean? And that's another way of how people survive. Really.
It's true, man.
So why do you think it's not a hard thing?
Maybe it's understanding, because like for me, I struggled to understand popularity for like a lot of my life.
Right, okay.
Like through school, I'm sure, like most people, you go to school, you start meeting all these different people, and you observe these like groups of people who are more popular, these groups of people that people hate, and it's interesting to see the dynamic, and it always confused me how they came about, like these groups. And I don't know if it's like every school, but the people who are popular in my school, they're not really doing much today. And like it's interesting to see that over time. But back in school, and now it's just like a distant memory, but back in school, mate, it was something that really like bothered me, like, because I joined school, I was quite popular,
right, and
then I was like really unpopular for a while,
okay,
and I couldn't understand why, and it was like getting to me, and I tried to like be be popular, and the more I tried to be popular, the more I realized, why am I fucking doing this, mate?
Yeah. Why? Like, this is tiring.
100%.
It's tiring, man.
I was in a pretty similar situation, because I used to consider myself to be quite in the middle ground.
Okay.
Where like I used to know the popular people,
right,
but then I've also the most unpopular people I was still okay with, and I was quite on a level with.
Yeah.
So then over time, I remember I had these feelings where I was like, oh, I want to do this because I want to be more popular. I want more people to notice me. I want to do things for other people.
Yeah.
And the more I did that, I remember I got to a point where in my life where I was just there like, I was like, why am I doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Who am I trying to impress?
It's like, again, when you think about like if there was no people in the world.
I completely get you. Mine was different.
Yeah.
Like, because I had a twin, right? So, I never cared about anybody else liking me. I only cared about
the whole way through school.
No. Yeah. Pretty much.
Nice,
the only
mate.
person I really cared about was my friends outside of school.
Yeah.
And the people I cared about, were my friends outside of school, and my brother, my twin brother. He was probably one person that I wanted him to think I was cool. Nobody else. That's how I live. That's how I live my life.
Is he? So, he's a twin brother. I was going to say, is he older? That's a stupid question.
So growing up,
because normally you want your older brother to like think good of you normally, don't you? That's why.
Yeah, he's just a twin. Just a twin. But growing up, like in school, I never thought about popularity.
Yeah.
I never thought about it. I knew what was what, but it never came in my head, because I had a twin, so that was a popular thing in itself. Like, oh, there's the twins. And
is that how you were known, is it?
The twins, the twin boys. And then what's the other one? I played for Bolton Wanderers Academy as a child, so that was a pretty big deal. So I never thought about it, because people had already put me there. So I never worked. I never thought about, I need to be popular. I never, blah, 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 blah. So that was the best thing to ever happen to me ever, because it meant I could go in and out of different groups as I pleased. So I knew the Justin Pughs, I knew the Ivans, I knew the Callum Wenlock, I knew the Christopher Barsley or whatever. These were the people who were like outcasts or whatever. Do you know what I mean? They were just different. They weren't that like popular or whatever else. And then you'd know the Olivias, the Tims, and whatever else. And those were the. And I was just thinking, these people are just. They're all the same people, really. If you speak, if you like, I can only talk about this now. But then I wasn't really thinking about it. But now that I think about it, they were all just human beings with the same insecurities, but some showed it better than the others. Some hid it better than the others. Do you know what I mean? And that's when I started realizing that, oh my goodness, we're all
the same.
We're all the same.
Mate, this is what
We're all the same.
I think this is what happens when you get older, man. Because like that's what I realized. Like I don't know if you ever did this, but like I always looked at like adults. Like when I was in school, I looked at someone who was in sixth form as like an adult. It's like when I'm their age, I'll know what I'm doing with my life. When I was in sixth form, I looked at people who are at uni, and I was like, yeah, when I'm that age, I'll know my shit. Yeah. And then when I was at uni, I looked at people who like graduated, and I was like, they're finally adults.
They've done it.
And now I've graduated. I'm like, we are those adults,
bro.
And I still don't know what I'm doing. It's so true, though, bro. And it's so true.
That's what I wanted to ask you, bro. Because I was like, yo. We graduated this year.
It's actually so true,
man. Oh, by the way, big up every class of 2020 people, bro.
Oh, yeah, man.
Everybody who's done it, bro.
We just missed the storm.
Lad, like, whoa. Nah, you guys are like mad. We smashed it. Not gonna lie to you. Like, I can't believe I graduated this year.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm gonna be working soon.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna be working soon, bro, and like
That's crazy.
like big boy, like actually be doing an actual job that I've actually got to wake up to. And if I mess up, then I actually mess up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you've got more responsibilities on your plate, innit?
Bro, I had a bit of I don't know how to explain it. Like, I had a bit of a realization and like a breakdown. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be doing adult things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I've not really worked myself out yet. And I realized. It's gonna keep happening.
You're never ready for it, mate.
You're not really ready.
You always like this is like another lesson that I've had to like learn myself the hard way. Like you're always thinking of a time in the future, things are gonna change between now and then.
Right.
But the way I try to think of it now is like in 10 years' time, that's just a bunch of tomorrows.
Yeah.
And if you think about me tomorrow, you would think, well, me tomorrow is pretty much me today.
Yeah.
But when you think about me in 10 years, that's just a bunch of tomorrows.
Yeah. Loads and loads of tomorrows.
You can't expect things to change because they won't. Obviously you'll learn and you'll develop and you'll grow. But like, I always thought like, adults, they know what they're doing. They've got their minds together. They've got their finances together. Yeah. But now I am an adult. Yeah. I'm learning that like, no one really knows. Everyone just kind of pretends
just making it up.
Yeah,
bro.
we're all just going along with it.
Going along with it. And, it's like, oh, okay, this is life, but I've been assigned this job or whatever else, and I've been assigned this job to put food on the table and whatever else. That's why I always think this podcasting thing is like, I'm so happy I've done it just because it's like my little baby.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be out there, but I've also got like a little baby at home to look after, and for it to look after me as well, because it's my little art. Do you know what I mean? That's how I see this podcast. Like after work, I can come home, think about who I want to be on the show or whatever else. Easy.
And then I hate to say this because obviously I was at a young age as well, but I even sold ciggies at school as well.
Oh, for real?
So I literally turned
opened his blazer and it's got like
bro.
Businessman,
I'm telling
bro.
you, when I used to get my blazer, I can't remember who was with me that day. I used to shake my blazer, and the amount of coins I have in it. My side, I was weighed down like this. You know what I'm saying? One of the things which I did was when my PC's drive broke.
Right.
I was like, oh, what am I going to do with it? I'm always on the PC in it. So it's like, this is my spare time is restocked, go home. Right. I'm sat there at home now. Either play on the Xbox or go on the PC. So I was like, all right, I'm on the PC, what am I going to do? I saw some software, I was just on browsing the internet, whatever, and I saw something called Virtual DJ. And I was just there like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. So I remember I started mixing some like popular songs with other beats, and in my head I was thinking, yo, I'm a mad DJ. You know what I'm saying? Man's making tunes out here. And now I listen back to it, and you think none of it's in sync. The bass is overloaded. The tempo is not there. It's different level.
That's
but then
mad.
Even still, like when I got my Mac at uni, I went on to GarageBand and I was playing around. I was like, you know what, I like this. The one thing which I always struggled with is that, I was always using loops. I was never using physical, like, patterns, or when you physically make the beat.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave up on it because I was never happy with what I got from the loops.
Right, okay.
So I've always,
you just let it go.
Bro, you
So
should
I've
learn an
always-
instrument, bro. You should learn piano, man.
I've always wanted to learn
I do,
piano, lad,
yeah,
honestly.
same
Think about it this way.
Always.
Do you play anything?
No, I don't play anything.
Right,
I
well,
only write.
If I was going to advise any of you to learn any instrument, bro, don't play violin, don't play piano, man.
Play.
Because, like, I mean, I'm biased. I play piano, but, like, if you know a piano, you can operate any door. Like, you go into a door and you get up like a saxophone
Right,
instrument.
Yeah, you'd be able to.
It's a keyboard. You know,
Yeah.
every instrument is the same thing. So
Yeah.
if you know your way around a keyboard, you can
can
program
create
your
any
own
sound.
music.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah, that's
Not
so
just
true.
piano, everything. You know about
That's-
how the notes work. I just find that, like, a piano keyboard is an easy way to, like, understand how music theory works.
Yeah.
So
Do you know what? Let me just. You know how teachers. I have an issue with like people selling things in school and the teachers being angry at that or whatever, because that was your hustle.
yeah,
Right? That was something you knew as a child, and you did it very well in school. So I remember a guy getting caught, and they took all his sweets.
I remember a guy getting caught.
And all his chocolates, everything, bro. Everything.
Mate, it was like
yeah,
a drug
fizzy
bust
drink,
in my
bro.
school. They
Yeah,
broke
it
the
was
locker open.
maddest
There was all
thing
these
ever.
fruity truties and chewing gums and shit.
And they took it to the staff room and ate it. And took his money, bro. And I was like, yo,
Mate, that should be illegal.
this guy
That's
has
illegal.
done
That's
so
illegal.
well for himself. Do you know what I mean? He's actually a very clever entrepreneur at the age of, what, 13, 14, 15? I don't even know, bro. But the teachers, they were vexed.
Mate, they hate it,
They
bro.
were angry.
It's
but I
because
was like,
it's not
that's
in their
'cause
control.
You didn't do something that this kid did at a young age. You
That's
know
why
what I
you're
mean?
a
He was,
teacher.
he was thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
I can make money here. There's actually money to be made here.
Exactly.
And they took it away from him, bro.
Mate, they don't understand that, like, that kid is demonstrating, like, an initiative.
Yeah, man.
That should be, like, streamlined.
That should be a thing that everybody should be doing. I mean,
Yeah.
not selling, but doing what what you're good at. Do you know what I mean? They
Mm.
took that skill away from him. He was practicing a skill that when he got to a certain level, he would be doing something else. You know what I mean?
I do kind of get it, though, because, like, imagine a kid scams another kid and he goes to the teacher.
Oh,
This
yeah,
kid-
yeah.
And then there's this one kid that scams everyone.
I just think the thing is, school's for learning.
Yeah.
So, and then when I say learning, I mean, like, really not only academic stuff. I mean, like,
Everything,
really
yeah.
learning about, because when you go, it's just a little. When you go in school, there are kids who are popular. There are kids who aren't popular. There are kids who are kind. There are kids who are horrible. There are fat kids. There are skinny kids. There are kids who, you know,
From every walk of life.
absolutely.
This is what we were talking about last time,
Once,
wasn't it?
yeah. Once you go outside, those kids are being raised by people who are members of society. Do you know what I mean? And you see all of that. So you could literally sit there and learn. Oh, he's definitely he's gonna make it. He's probably not. Actually, he might beat the system and then make it here. La 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 la. la, and you just learn all these things.
You're not taught how to process that information, though, because like, as I said to you last time, you don't know about this, Saj, but like when I started secondary school, I'm, as you know, from quite a privileged background, and you know, I don't say that with any shame. You know, I've had a great family upbringing and everything. But when I moved to school, I was finally in an environment where there was other people that were from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And because I didn't understand it, I was like, why are these guys like smoking ciggies and starting fights and, you know, sweat, you know, why are these guys doing this shit? And I didn't understand it. So if you don't understand someone else, what happens? You don't like them.
Yeah.
And then there's animosity built there.
Yeah.
And this is why all fights in school start, or bullying starts, you know, because kids are just dropped into this like battle royale, expected to maneuver it for themselves.
Yeah. It's
true,
like
man.
the Hunger Games, basically. It's like,
Hunger Games.
we'll start at 7, la 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 la, and, you know, get ready. You know what I mean? Like,
You're not told to like have empathy or compassion or to understand other people. School did us dirty, man. School fucked us.
See, that's
Bro,
the thing,
wait, that's
though,
how they work.
because-
That's how society is built, though.
Yeah.
It starts off in school. That's why we are the people that we are now. And, you know, they say unlearn some of the things that you've learned in school, right? Like, just unlearn every single thing you've learned in school, because, like, okay, what has school actually taught you?
See, I'll be honest. Look, when I think of, as you say, what has school taught you, a lot of the academic stuff for me, it's just like it doesn't really stick
it's
in
not
it.
done anything
I
for you.
always used to think in the back of my mind, like, because teaching was a profession that I thought I wanted to go into myself as well. Because when I think about how I've grown up and the things I've learnt myself, I'm like, Yeah, when I'm at school though, they don't teach you
you
this.
don't teach you
They don't
that,
teach you life
they don't
lessons.
teach you
They don't
life
teach you
lessons, bro.
how to maneuver in the real world. That's something you literally have to learn yourself. They'll teach you all of shit about like, you know, fucking Anne Duffy with you know, Off Mice and Men and all this kind
I
of
always
shit.
think of
like,
that,
when am I gonna read Off Mice and Men?
And the Cold War and shit, and the Russian Revolution.
I enjoyed Of Mice and Men and Macbeth. I enjoyed that. Not gonna lie to you, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
nah,
man.
it was sick. But yeah, man, it'd be so. It'd actually be okay. King Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does anybody need to know about that?
Yeah. I know, right?
Bro, I know everything about that guy.
Yeah, same lad.
I know all his
Same.
wives' names, bro.
What is going on?
Other than winning in a pub quiz, when is that ever gonna?
When is that ever gonna? Bro, we spent like a few terms doing that, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, we revisited Henry VIII, bro.
See,
Like,
the
what?
only thing which I think from learning about Henry VIII, which was actually applicable in the current world, is the fact that you've got Catholic and then the Church of England.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because Henry VIII was the person who actually
Yeah,
put
who
through
actually
for
brought
Church
it
of
through,
England.
yeah, because he
he
wanted
the
to
amount of
divorce
wives
his-
that he had.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of history.
Yeah.
But I don't need to know about the rest
Yeah,
of it.
I just learned
that
Why are
no-
we spending bare time on this guy?
Can I
You know
ask-
what I mean?
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna do this. We're
Let's
gonna
do
do
this.
this. We're gonna do this.
Let's
yeah.
go.
What does happiness mean to an EVT? Like, you can go. How do you see happiness? What does happiness mean
Up
to
to you. Do you want to go first on me?
I've actually thought about this like a lot quite recently, and when I say that, I don't mean like I know, because I don't know.
No. To
Like,
you, yeah.
my idea of happiness can change
Yes.
over the years. Because when I was younger, I was like, I'll be happy when I'm on my yacht and I've got my millions.
Okay.
And now, I don't care about money, man. Like, I do not care if I can feed myself and I can enjoy my life. I don't care about
Yes.
money, bro.
Yes.
I've had money. I've not had money. I've been more happy when I've not had money.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not financial.
Yeah.
For me, it's having the freedom to. Well, happiness comes in two places, right? Happiness, first of all, happiness can only come from within. You can't get happiness from external things in life.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, if you've not got any money, money will help.
Yeah.
But like, you've got to understand what's up here to be happy.
You gotta
Otherwise,
make
you
your
never
own
will be.
happiness. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And also, it's about where you are in your life. And, you know, there's no one size fits all for that. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For me, like, it's more important for me to be happy with my mind than it is for me to be happy with my life.
Okay.
Because if you're happy with your mind, you can navigate better through life.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with that?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I think I might have mentioned this to you before, but like, I my like target is to be in a place where I'm calm
right
and
in the middle,
collected the
yeah.
whole way.
Yeah.
Like, nothing gasses me up too much.
Yeah.
Nothing like pisses me off that much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want things to be able to affect me.
Right.
I want to be in control.
Yes.
And from there, I can then be happy.
Yeah, you
no
want
matter
to be in
what I
control
look
of your
like.
mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And that will bring you ultimate happiness. Yes,
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Because if you've got like issues up here,
Yeah.
and you're not dealing with them,
Yeah.
you can have all the money in the world,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna be happy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Once your mind isn't in control, or once you're not in control of your mind, every external issue or source that comes your way, you won't be able to like really.
It's distorted.
You won't never, because you won't be
Yeah.
able to understand it, because your mind is everywhere. Actually, I've got a question for you after this, like,
Okay.
because it's the same.
Go on,
For
what's your
me,
answer, yeah?
see, happiness is it's a bit different, as you say. It is mentally as well. However, one of the biggest things for me in life, and I think will really get me to a point of happiness, is because I've been brought up from a very working class background.
Yeah.
I've never really had money in my life.
Okay.
So growing up and seeing my family, obviously most of my family live in council houses and
Okay.
all this kind of stuff. For me to be able to be in a position
Yeah.
doing something that I love,
Yeah.
where I can have enough money to feed my family and also my cousins in Bangladesh who live in a third world country.
Yeah.
For me to be able to kind of let them live their lives comfortably, as well as myself and my family, will bring me ultimate happiness.
Yes.
Because I know for a fact then, as I say, money will not be the issue.
Yes.
Money is taking care of what I need it to do.
Yes.
But at the same time, I can utilize the time that I have to kind of explore the things I want to do and I want to focus on.
The freedom to do
Yeah.
that.
I think
100%.
yeah. I think that's the same with me. I think happiness comes with the freedom in my mind. So having enough freedom and like absolutely no fear in this world to do whatever I want to do, basically, and just enjoy myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's happiness for me. But the ultimate happiness would literally be having that no fear, having that freedom to do whatever I want to do, and having enough money to actually help, like you were saying earlier, like your fam, especially my mom. There was nothing in this world would bring me more happiness in this world than seeing my mom in the house that she wants to be in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah.
Or the car she wants to be in. And I'm saying this to you as the early turtle guy who, like, I don't really believe in all that materialistic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it will make her happy because she's getting older. I want her to actually see that success. I want her to see that life. Do you know what I mean? First, before anything else.
It's because it's that thing, innit? It's like that. Like, I don't know if for yourself, but with me, it's like, for them putting themselves through what they have, for me to have a life, and for the ability to have the freedom to go do what I want.
It's like you owe it to them, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like it's like a part of me is like, you know, I owe everything basically to them. Like, obviously, don't get me wrong, I still have to live my own life, and
Yes,
I still have to do things for myself. Because if I'm doing something that doesn't make me happy, I'll never get to the place I want to be.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the balance between your mental side and then obviously what you feel in your heart.
Yeah.
So it's very, like, as you say, materialistic things for me don't really matter. I'm not asked about that. But I know for a fact that when someone's grown up in a life where they've never had anything, where they can be like, oh, check this out, do you know what I mean? Like, yo, check, I've got a Merc on the drive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had that.
You got the rollie on your wrist.
You know what I'm saying?
I just look at my mum, right?
You got AP on your wrist. Hello.
Like, see, again, I don't know what that would do for my mum. My mum would just probably like being in like, it's like the holidays that I take with my mum.
Mate.
Bro, that's why I do what I do. Like, and that's why I'm trying to get to where I want to get to. Do you know what I mean? Like, just to see her and that smile. Bro, I look at my mum and sometimes I'm like, how did you do it?
Yeah, man. Being a parent, man.
Like, actually, like, how did you do it?
Do you know how old your mum
Twins
was
as well.
when she had you guys?
Nah, actually, she was young, you know. No, she was old. She was like 36, actually.
My mum was quite young.
My mum was 28 when she had me.
Yeah, 'cause my mum
28, 29.
I wouldn't be able to put an age on.
No, my mum was. Damn, she must have been. I don't remember. I don't know.
20s, 30s. Because, like, okay, let's, like, because there's a lot of people that I meet.
She must
be
like, 31.
There's a lot of people that I meet that their parents had them at like 25, and I'm like, bro, I'm like nearly 25. I'm 22.
Oh, right,
but do you know what I mean? Like, 25 is not too far away, and like, how was she in that position to be able to like raise children? And do her own life, like, mate. You've got to admire your mum and you know your parents so much, and I think that is really important in happiness, like giving back to your parents, because like at the end of the day, man, you owe whoever brought you up everything.
Yeah, you do. I don't completely agree with that.
Obviously, there's exceptions if your
some
parents.
parents,
If your parents neglected you and shit.
Yeah, there are some parents who they're like, yep. I quit. See you later. Bye. And
they're not parents though.
They're
bro.
not.
I don't consider them parents.
Some of them don't even. Right, I've got the biggest motivation in the world because I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be the best father in this whole entire world, bro. Like, I'm like, if you bring someone in this world, you owe them everything, and I think that's what my mom was like. She was like, I owe you everything because like I've literally brought you in this world. You are my responsibility. I'm going to try to. That's one thing I rate about my mom. Right, she actually just guided me. She didn't say you need to do this or you need to do that. She just went, oh, actually, if you go that way, you might get hurt. But I've told you, so you go do your thing and learn. And then, oh, actually, no. Or this, like it was always like a little cushion. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can still keep going on your path. And then one day you're like, oh, she's not telling me anything anymore. When did you realize that your mum wasn't actually like being a mama's, like?
When I was 18.
Do you know what I mean?
I remember the day. I remember the actual day.
See,
like,
for me,
we had a big fallout, and it was on that day that I love my mum. No resentment towards her.
Yeah.
We had a fallout on that day because she was trying to demonstrate an authority on me.
Okay.
And I felt like I was an adult. Obviously, 18, I was a little boy still.
Yeah.
But I was like. I'm never I'm 18. I don't need you. And at that moment I was like, I need to look after myself. And then me and her were like friends.
Okay.
Like my parents are there for me when I need them, and I love and respect them for that. But like, I'm who I. No. I'm not who I am because of me. I am who I am now because of me. Like when I left, like they didn't really teach me anything about tax, anything about mortgages. Like I've had to learn all that shit by myself.
Yeah, man. Big up school, by the way. Big up school. You could have taught this guy that, and then he's been doing his own thing.
This is why I'm saying that school did us dirty, mate. There's so many things. If there was, instead of like, I don't know, history or geography or something like that, instead of that, there was like, you know, a life skills class.
A real life skill. It's like, listen, guys, once you finish there's this thing called life, and we're going to teach you about it. Nah, you just go out there and you're like, oh damn, just getting hit by these life lessons that you could have learned.
I actually wonder though, has there ever been a part like a what's it called? I don't know what it's called, like a movement or like, you know, something where we've acted in a sense of like someone from our own generation has said, you know what, with the educational system, it needs a bit of a refresh. Why don't we bring in a module?
Even this algorithm,
I think there's a lot going on.
A little bit more about life lessons.
Mate, you're from Bangladesh, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm an African boy. I'm from Ivory Coast or whatever else. Like, I know more about British history.
Yeah.
And American history, for that matter.
It's fucked.
Than I do about my own like little. Do you know what I mean? And that's just being
exactly
raised
the same.
So there are advocates out there who like want to teach like Black history and whatever else. Just not just, you know, just where we're living now. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's very important because as a child, I had I was basically, I played for Bolton Wanderers Academy, so footballer. That was what was in my head. That was my identity. Do you know what I mean? Completely lost like my sense of you're an African, you're a black boy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
can I ask you a question? Was your school like multicultural?
It was multicultural. Yeah, it was. But again, it didn't matter how multicultural it was. We didn't learn anything about where we were from.
Because in my school, there was some like you know, obviously people from all types of areas of the world, but it was a minority.
Right.
And I always thought like if I was them, I'd be thinking, I am a black person in a white man's school.
Yeah.
And like that's something that I take for granted that I never had to experience. But,
Right.
like,
Yeah. And you never will.
And in
any sort of situation.
Yeah,
either.
exactly. But like, I just thought to myself, like, man, that's fucked. You know, like that people feel like that.
Yeah.
And like, that's the school's fault, man.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't teach Black history. They don't teach. You know, they only teach, you know, a curated version of history. Yeah. And you must be thinking, like, if I'm a black person sat in a history class learning about fucking the Russian Revolution or the Soviet Union, I must be thinking, like, so where did my type of people fit into this whole thing?
And then they go, hey, we'll teach you Black history, America, and then it's like, oh, well, slavery, that's not great.
That's not good, yeah. Is that all I mean? Is that all my history means?
Oh, wait, we were hated, we for what?
So white people owned me?
When did things actually get great for black, and then it's like, you're completely lost. You're like, I have no history, and the history that I do have, it's not that positive, so where do you go from? Bro, shall I tell you what I always think to myself? I'm like, how are there like these amazing black people out there, bro? Yeah. How did you get out of it? How have you got so much pride, and how are you so happy, and how are you spreading these amazing messages out there to fellow young black kings or black queens or whatever else? Because there isn't anything that's actually telling you to like that's raising you to be better. Do you know what I mean? Or be great, or be whatever, or be who you want to be. So I always get confused. Like, I don't know how I became the guy that I am now, because it's easy for you. I'm not saying it's easy for you, but I'm saying
the world's more
everything's
on your side.
more patriotic. You know who you are, you know your history, you know where you're coming from, you know where you're going. But if you're a black man and you don't know where you come from, how do you know where you're going? Do you know what I mean?
Can I just quickly intercept one thing real quickly, just to say, when we're talking about black kings, I just want to say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. The news was heavy, man. You would never thought, and to be fair, the amount of stuff that he's done and the work that he's put in, when even though he had cancer from 2016, it just shows to me that what a guy he is. And
he was like visiting other cancer patients while he had cancer.
Yeah, the
it's
children as well,
man,
and they were holding up to see the next Black Panther thing.
Mate, he's the definition of like what a man means.
He's the definition of what you should be like as a celebrity. Actually,
as a person, mate,
as a human being.
Yeah, he was there for his family, for other people, while he was dealing with his own shit.
As a human being, he was just a human being, and that's real, because you know we live in a world where there's so many celebrities that they're seen as these demigods, and we don't see them as human beings. Almost, we see them as these people that can, but they're still human beings. We spoke about Robin Williams the other day, didn't we? Nobody would have ever thought that he was going through his own like issues, because he's this famous person who makes people laugh. Well, Chadwick was the same guy. He was someone who brought joy to. He brought hope for black children. Do you know what I mean? To be the Black Panther, to be the king
Same
of Wakanda.
same with Kobe as well, man.
You know what I'm saying? Kobe, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? These people are just people who are bringing hope, but they do it so gracefully.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're like, this is who I am. I'm a human being, but this is what I can give to you. This is what I'm here to offer. And I think that's what we should really go for. Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Like,
absolutely.
For me, if I look at a trajectory of life, it should be about like fulfilling yourself, family, providing for your family, giving back. Yes, that's how life should be.
So you know how you said happiness is within.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm almost tired. Yeah, I'm almost there where I'm on this journey where I'm like, I don't care about the car, I don't care about the money, I don't care about the clothes. All right. So let's say car, money, clothes were things that were within. So mind, body, soul. Right. If I can work on all those things and I can work on my mind and I can control my mind and I'm feeding my soul like the right things and I'm doing the things that I want to do, like AKA talk. As I'm doing that and I'm working on the insides, that's gonna like put the energy out there into the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the goodness hopefully will start coming to you as you're working on yourself. Just thinking, if I work on my body and I work on my mind and I work on my thoughts and I work on my feelings, then if it's all good inside, that's what I'll put out there.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean?
Mate, it's the same what we spoke about Dave, didn't we?
Oh, Dave, bro.
Dave's got all these problems in his life, mate.
Dave's
what
got
does
issues
he do?
in his life,
He
bro.
projects that out onto other people, mate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt
Mate,
about it.
did I tell you about I met the female version of Dave, Karen.
Oh, yeah, you told me actually. Yeah,
I sent you a voice note, bro. It made me think about it, man. Because when we were doing the pod last time, me and Ralph, we were talking about how people like, you know, people who like, you know, they'll be driving and then they'll see like, you know, someone and they'll just shout something out the window for no fucking reason, and we're like, what does that say about you as a person? There I am skating, you know, home. Woman drives past me and opens a window down and just shouts something. I couldn't hear her, I got my music in. Just shouts something as she's driving past me and drives off.
Real Karen.
And I didn't even know what she said. Like I just saw her face going,
yeah. And as you do.
Yeah, and I was like, does she not think to herself like when she like got home like why did I do that? Why did I fucking do that?
That's energy as well, bro.
And like she was like a 50-year-old woman, mate. She must have so many things build up in her life.
Yeah.
Like when I'm 50, I don't want to be shouting at kids on skateboards.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know what I mean? I want to be at 50. I want to be the one that's wise enough to know that, like, you know.
When I'm 50, I don't want to be driving a car.
You're gonna be in a spaceship or something.
I genuinely don't.
When we're 50, we won't be able to automatic Tesla or something.
Just,
you know what I'm saying?
Something, bro. Something. I want to be somewhere. I'm not. When I'm 50, I don't think I want to be in society.
Bro, it's crazy to think about when you're 50, because like we're all like, you know, 20 now. 30 more years, bro. Can you imagine? You can't imagine. You can't even begin to imagine.
No. Where do you start?
You can't, mate. And this is I have a bit of a problem with people who try and like plan like, oh, when I'm not this age, I want to be in this position. That's not how life works,
like,
man.
Literally, there are things called, you know, natural accidents that happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could just be walking, bruv, bam, easy. Actually, that's what brings me absolute joy. This is a bit dark, but at the same time, I was wondering, like we're all a lot of people are quite scared of death. Like, death brings real anxiety to people. Like, and for a long time it did me, but I think I'm starting to deal with it a little bit better now. I'm like, because I realise it's inevitable. We're all actually gonna die, right? Yeah. We're all gonna die. Yeah. We're all gonna die. Let that actually sink in, yeah? Right? We're gonna die one day. And I guess the only thing that, you know, is a little bit scary is that it's the one day bit. Like, it could be at any time. So I look for the positive in that, and I'm like, if it could be any time, I could die any time. Why would I say no to like the good? Why would I not live life the way I want to live it? You feel me? Imagine just dying and then it's like, and then not doing what you wanted to do, not loving how you wanted to love, not saying what you wanted to say at that time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
See, I don't fear death. What I fear is dying and it not meaning anything. And
what does that mean?
What I mean by that is, like, if I'm on my deathbed, I'm of good age, I've got all my family around me, I've built a family, I've built, you know,
a legacy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And then I die. That's like a beautiful moment, man, because that's the end of the era.
Yeah.
and like, you know, it's moving on. If I get hit by a fucking bus on my way home from work one day, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what that's what I fear, mate. I fear bringing my parents that like misery of having to deal with their son dying prematurely. Yeah. But I don't fear dying when I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you've lived. So the idea is, we're all scared of dying just because we feel like there's more.
We want to do more.
We want to do more.
Yeah, we want to do more, mate. And that's 100% true.
That's it. Yeah, we and you know, you said earlier like you've actually kind of contradicted yourself.
Have I? Go on.
Remember what you were saying? I hate it when people like plan for the future.
Yeah.
People already see what they're gonna be like. How am I sitting here talking about my kids and whatever else? You know what I mean? Imagine I just got hit by, God forbid, hit by the bus.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a scary thought, bro.
It is, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
It is.
So
when I say plan for the future, I mean like, so people say, I want to own my own Ferrari when I'm 30. I want to have this one. All I want is when I'm on my deathbed, all I want is to be fulfilled with my life. That is the only thing that I want to predict.
Do you reckon we could ever be fulfilled with your life?
Yeah.
How would we do that?
Well, I don't know, bro.
It'll take time to do it.
Because
I love this.
what fulfillment means to you will change, man.
Absolutely.
Like, bro.
So therefore, you can never be fulfilled.
Yeah. Like, I need to tell you about this guy I met at work one day, man. And he like, I've been thinking about it every day since. He was this like relatively old guy, and like certain old people have this energy about them that's like, they're just chill, bro. Yes. They've done their life. Yeah. They've done things that, you know, that they've seen everything. They've experienced life, and they're just pottering around now, mate. They're just enjoying themselves.
That's what I meant by. Sorry to cut you off. That's what I meant earlier by. I don't really want to be in society.
Yeah,
like when I'm 50, I just want to be just jamming anywhere. I want to go wherever I want to go and just talk to whoever I want to talk to.
That's what this guy was like.
Just live. Do you know what I mean?
And he was telling me about his life. And like, you know, we are monitored on how long we spend with customers. So like, normally I'll be like trying to get rid of him, but I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm talking to this guy. This is like meaningful.
I've done that before.
You ever had someone like that?
Yeah, like I've had. But to be fair, for me, it's more to do with when somebody's going through something where they just don't know what's going on. I know that, fair enough, it may look bad on myself for a little bit, and on a piece of paper they'll be like, oh, you spent too long with that person. But I know for a fact that I have made that person's day.
Yes.
And for me, spending a bit of time and getting something negative on my back is not going to change me and move forward. It's more to do with knowing that I've helped and I've gave something back to someone else is so much better. Because, like, as you say, one of the things which would happen is that someone, when you meet a customer or something like that, a lot of the time they may not speak to a lot of people. So they might come in and that might be that one time, that social experience that they get, and they want to let off some steam, and they just want to be themselves, and they just want to talk and joke because they don't know you. So at the end of the day, they're not going to see you again.
And that was this guy then. Can I just finish this small anecdote? This guy was telling me about his life, and he was like, you know, I was a sniper for 20 years, and I did this, and I met this woman, and then we spent 50 years together, and then blah 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 blah. And he was like, I've had a great life. He looked at me, he was like, I've had a great life.
That's amazing, man.
And I was like, mate, there's no amount of money in the world that can buy that moment where you're like, I've had a great life, man. If that guy died today, you know,
he would be buzzing.
He'd probably be like, yeah,
he'd be like, what's next? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But like, if you said to me, like, you know, if you died today, what would you think? Like, and I'd be like, mate, there's so much more I want to do. Back to what you were saying, so much more I want to do. I want to be at a point in my life where it's like, I've had a great life. I've done a lot of good things.
Yes.
I'm content.
Yes.
And now I'm not scared.
Has he travelled a lot? Because you tend to find that a lot of people who are happy have travelled, man.
Because they've seen
everything.
Worlds.
They've seen all the what. They've seen poverty, bro. I think anybody who really sees and feels poverty and feels, because I always think I told you about that the other day about, you know, the thought of having children out there, right, who don't have anything, right, at all. It kills me,
mate. Yeah,
it kills me, bro.
100%.
I can't understand it, and I'm like, there's so many rich people out there, and that could help. But we have like homelessness, and we have like poverty, and we have children who can't. In my head, man, children are too pure to not have anything,
to be struggling,
bro. Do you know what I mean? To be an adult. And I was thinking, my biggest, you know, when I'm really happy, when I'm 50 or 60 or 70 or whatever, is for people to look at me and go, oh my goodness, he's like a kid. He's like a child. He's like a young man. Do you know what I mean? Still have that young life in you. That's
Yeah.
like you're still living as a young man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how that guy would have felt, man.
Yeah,
He's
man.
old, but he's got young energy.
Bro, it really meant a lot to me, man. That like, there's some moments that you just remember them, and it just like lingers and it sticks with you and it teaches you stuff.
Yeah.
And that was this guy to me, because some old people are like, you know, that they hate the world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this guy was just completely chill.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, I've had a great life, man.
Had a
I've
good
loved
life.
my life. I've got
Yeah.
a great family.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't, you know, there's no amount of money that could buy that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Do you know the Early Turtle podcast? It started off, I wanted to interview older people.
Yeah.
Older
Mate, you
people,
can learn a lot from old people.
That
man.
was, because, all right, life just comes out you, bro. It's mad. I was in the gym, and then there was this guy, like, old fella,
Yeah. In the gym.
doing bits, bro.
You fucking, what a guy, man.
Doing bits.
That's the way.
And I was like,
I rate that.
right, one of my favorite things to do,
Way
I do
you-
like talking to random people.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because random people and yourself will feel like, I ain't never going to see you again.
You're disposable.
Let me just tell you whatever. I can tell you I killed someone. I can tell you I did this. I can tell you, and what are you going to do, really? You don't know
Bro,
me.
this is why I love talking to Uber drivers, man. Some of the best conversations in my life have been
you
with Uber
learn
drivers,
so
bro.
much, bro. You learn so much.
Because when you say bye to them, you're never going to see them again.
And then the person could just literally just say, they would just be honest with you because they're never going to see you again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just tell you how they feel. And I think that would be very therapeutic as well for the passenger, because you've actually got to think of an answer. You don't have to answer it, but you can think of an answer and you go, okay, what makes you sad? Well, let me think of what makes me sad actually. Poverty, right? Poverty makes me sad. People not being kind to each other makes me sad.
Yeah.
Racism makes me sad.
Yeah.
Right. Sexism makes me sad. Right. And I'm saying these things, and I'm like, okay, this is how I feel. It's out of my system now. Thank you for asking me, Uber driver. Thank you for answering.
Yeah.
Bam, you feel good.
And that guy might not have ever been able to voice
to
himself
actually
in that
voice
way.
himself and actually
Like,
say something. Do you know what I mean?
He might have never had someone give him the opportunity to, like, you
to
know.
actually, like we were saying earlier, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying? Old guy. So I went over. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I hope he doesn't think I'm a weirdo or whatever. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
And I just went, mate. You're in amazing shape, great shape, bro. Like, what makes you still carry on doing it? And he was like, I'm an old guy now, but in my mind, I'm young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing that's changed about me is my body. That's the only thing that's grown old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mind, my soul, yeah, I'm keeping that up. And that's why I'm going to the gym to keep that going. And he told me some things about his wife who just passed away, and he was living alone, and I'm like, goodness me, this guy's. He's told me all these things, and I'm probably never going to see him again, and I never did. But I was glad I went over to him and asked him about that, and that's when I realised I actually had a skill of actually asking people in very respectful ways, like about their lives and whatever else. And I was like, that's when the idea of a podcast started coming to my head. I didn't come up with it straight away, but little things were just coming to me. Podcast.
Mate, you can learn a lot from just talking to random people.
Absolutely.
Like, this is just clicks as you were saying that, because I was thinking, like, you know, not even kids, people these days, they walk around on the, you know, they walk around like this, don't they? You know,
Yeah.
walking down the
Yeah.
street, they bump into each
Buried
other,
into the-
And like, when you go back before phones existed, people would speak to each other in the streets.
Yes.
Yep.
And when that happens every day
Yeah.
for how many years, think about the impact that's going to have.
Absolutely.
Kids these days only talk to each other in their little bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
They don't learn about the world.
See, that's the one thing which I've been quite like scared of, because I even see it in some of my cousins, because they're so addicted to their phones and they're kind of trapped into this realm of like everything exists from a
Everything is
little
the
screen in
phone,
their
yeah.
pocket. So it's like I've always wanted to, like, one of the things which I always do is, like, especially if I go out with my little cousins and that, if they have their phone and that with them, I always say, nah, you're not going on your phone.
How do they
You're
react though?
Oh, they do. They feel weird, but I think they get used to it because it's the fact that we're constantly trying to push them to be
Yeah.
like, just talk.
Yeah.
Like, so as an example, this is like my cousins, my little cousins and family, and we normally always ask them, do you want to come to the restaurant with us? We'll take you out for some food and that,
yeah.
because they don't normally go out. They just sit at home and
Right,
you know
okay.
they're always
Just
kind of
always
locked
on
up.
the-
Do TikToks.
That's
They do
just
TikToks and
crazy,
that.
bro. What a different world
I
that is,
know.
by the way.
So then whenever I'm out with them, I always say something like, look at the menu. what sticks out to
Well,
you
yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
Let me tell me about some flavors. Tell me about something you want. Tell me what you want to
They just on their
experience.
phones, are they?
No, so normally they would be just on their phones and they'll just be locked in their own bubble kind of thing.
I get
But when
that,
we
yeah.
get them in the restaurant, we're like, nah, not your phones. Speak to us.
Yeah.
Speak to us and tell me about what you want to learn
Here's
about this
something called a paper.
experience in it. You know what I mean? Like, you might look at the menu and you'll be like, what, peri peri chicken wings? But, well, I've never heard of peri peri chicken wings. I know what peri peri
Hey,
chicken wings are,
you-
but he may not know that.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of like, I want them to look at that and go like, this is the stuff you're gonna see when you grow older. You're gonna see something like this.
Yeah.
And when you go to a restaurant, I don't want you to walk in there and be like, I'll just have that. And it's like, and you know what I mean? It's like,
I'll have
they
the
don't
chicken.
even
I'll
know.
have the
I'll have the
chicken
I just
chicken.
have,
Yeah.
Chicken what, man? How spicy do you want it? What flavors do you want?
bro, it's a different. I hate to say this. No, I don't hate to say it. It's just interesting seeing that there's always a gap, right? So put it this way, we understand things that our parents will never understand.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Vice versa.
Right? Absolutely. We'll have a thing where our children will never understand it. We'll never understand why, like this, that, the other, but they're going to be even more open-minded to different things. Right? We understand that racism is bad. Some other parents don't think racism is bad, or some people are
It's
homophobic
just
and whatever.
normal to them,
It's
isn't
just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As we get older, there's something that we're gonna miss.
Yeah.
Some of us are gonna miss that.
Yeah.
Our kids are gonna see, and they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? Your dad,
Yeah.
you're being this or that." Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
man.
do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, that genuinely is always All right. What do you think of this statement? There's always going to be evil in the world.
I'm salted.
Yeah, there will be. 100%. There's always going to be evil in the world. And I think the biggest thing with that... Oh, from my voice, it's probably just moved out a lot there. The biggest thing, I think, when it comes to evil, even the world, is more to do with what the younger generation are taught by the current generation.
Of course, yeah.
So
It's our responsibility,
yeah,
bro.
it's 100% our
absolutely.
responsibility.
No doubt
so
about it.
I think the world will only come to a point where there won't be any evil in it is if everyone's taught on the same
level.
wavelength.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
same
yeah, same
open-mindedness.
vibration.
Mate, we
the
need to
same
sort the
understanding.
fucking world out, bro.
We need
just
to
do.
sort the education
Like,
system.
let's
It's
get
one
everyone
of
in a
them.
room, bro. Let's get pen and paper. Let's figure this shit out, man. Because it's so important, mate. School is gonna sculpt a child like nothing else will.
Right.
Think about how much development a child's brain does between the ages of when you start school, 4 years old
Yes.
to like 18.
Yes.
That's not even like how much it develops. That's the only
That's
time
the only
that it
time like,
develops.
they pick up all these things and it all goes in. Yeah.
And like,
It's the first 7 years of their lives as well. So
that what
the
it is?
parents have a big impact on a child's life.
Yeah.
Everything you learn, or all these habits that you know from a young age, and we even carry with us now.
Yeah.
Are things that we learned from a very, very young age. From obviously when you're born to 7, that's your critical learning age. That's when you learn the most. So if you learn evil from that point on, you got to really unlearn that, bro.
You've got to evaluate like things that you don't question. Like, have you ever had a time in your life, like, in your adult life, where you've like questioned a way that you've always done things, and you try and figure out why I've done it this way, and it makes no fucking sense.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
All the time.
I'm like this.
you feel that as well, yeah?
Every ask that question again, bro. Because
I don't even know how to word it, man.
go, yeah.
Like you'll encounter a situation in life where you're forced to reevaluate your normal way of thinking.
Yes.
And the way that you would naturally, instinctually think doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah. You're like,
The only reason you think it is because that's the way you've been brought up. to
yeah,
think
when you were young,
Like-
and go on.
No, sorry.
No. And I think that's the interesting thing, right? I think there's people who go, oh, that's the thing. Ignore, carry on with life.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And there's people who go, when did that? That's not. That doesn't make. Nah, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah,
and
man.
then start challenging themselves, and then start really learning about themselves, and really, oh no, I picked that up when I was with my. Oh no, my dad used to do this a lot, or my mum used to do this a lot. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
wonder how many things there are like that.
I always used to think I'm such a calm guy, but there's times where that was my question. I remember it now. There's times where people make me I get really angry.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But at a young point, at one time in my life, I was just angry.
See, I'll be honest, I'm kind of the same, you know,
Yeah,
because
I think we're all experiencing
when the younger I was, the angrier I was.
Yeah.
But now I think to myself, like, nothing really makes me angry.
Why?
The only things that make me angry is obviously when I see racism or I see those things where it's like there's just little things you can do in your life to change that outcome, and it makes me angry to think that you're not putting that time in to do it. So like with racism, all you got to do is take that time to educate yourself. That's it. Take a bit of time, speak to different people, find their point of view, and that's it.
That's
You
why I was
change.
asking the question about will evil always be around? Will it always exist? Do you know what I mean? Just because, to me, racism is just a common thing. Like it's a thing where you go, this is bad. Everybody thinks it's bad. Like I should probably read the room and stop being racist.
Yeah.
To me, it's as simple as that. Like, oh, actually, that hurts someone else when I say this.
Yeah.
I should probably stop. Right. If you think about racism and like all this oppression coming from like towards black people or the minorities, people of color or whatever, do you know what I mean? I always think, okay, I get it. At one point, that's how they made money, right? It was a business. It probably still is, with a lot of people going on. I think, in a way, we're all, if you're not really in control of your mind, if you don't really know what's going on and you don't really know what you're consuming, as in the adverts are everywhere. Everywhere you go, people are selling things to you.
Yeah.
In fact, we're all adverts to each other. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I saw this the other day. Have you got this new phone? La 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 la. Do you know what I mean? So if you're not really in charge of your mind or in control of your mind, you're a slave to what other people are showing you.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
This one quote really resonated with me that said, if all of your opinions and views align with all of your friends, you're not a free thinker.
You're not a free thinker. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. No,
And
absolutely.
That really, really struck a chord with me because I was like, it's so true, man. It's so true.
Yeah.
And I think racist people, they're just ignorant people, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
But, okay, let me just say this to you, though. There are ignorant people, but let's say homophobia.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
mate, you know what? It absolutely baffles me, homophobia.
That's like
It
real
baffles
hate.
me, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's real hate.
imagine like getting angry that two men can marry each other.
Like-
That doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never made
Exactly.
sense. I'm like, okay, I'm a black boy, right? I've dealt with a lot of racism. I've dealt with it. I've really dealt with stuff that's like made me like just reduced me into nothing,
mate.
bro. And I'm like, do I really want to live in a world, right? Can this mic hear me?
Yeah.
Do I really want to live in a world, where people hate me because of my complexion? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I really want to carry on? Like, do I mean anything? Like, why so much hate? And then you do a little bit of background check. You start looking at your history and you're like, yo, these people are mental, bro. Like, where did this come from? Why do you hate what?
Do you know who Daryl Davis is?
No, I don't have a clue.
You don't know who Daryl Davis is?
No.
You need to research.
Right, so basically, this guy, right, let me tell you about who he is today and then how he became that. Who he is today, he's a black blues musician.
Okay.
And
Wait. Yeah.
he's a
go
blues
on.
musician,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
black.
Yeah.
And he basically, the reason he's famous now is because he's converted, I think, over 200 members of the KKK.
Oh yeah, I've seen his. I saw his TED Talk. I
TED
know who
Talk,
you're
yeah,
talking about.
that's the guy.
I saw his TED Talk.
And
I saw
he
his TED
said
Talk.
the first time he experienced racism was he was the only black guy in his school.
Like a
And-
marching band.
They were doing a march. You know that.
Yeah,
you know
I
the
know,
story.
I've seen it.
You know the story.
Yeah.
He
I know
was
the
doing a
story, yeah.
march, and someone was people were throwing things at him, and he was like, "Why do they hate me?" And the teacher couldn't explain it to him, and he was like, "Why do they hate me just because of my skin color?
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even know me."
They don't even know you. They don't even know
And
you.
that's how simple racism is,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Someone literally hates you because of the look of your skin.
Yes.
They don't know you
Yes.
personally or
Yes.
anything.
Yes, I mean,
I don't understand that.
There's real levels to it because I've heard this so many times. Oh my gosh, you're such a nice guy. I didn't think you were like that. I thought you were this. I thought you were that. La 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 la.
Wait, someone
You're
said
such a
that to
nice
you?
guy, and I'm like, yeah, but you didn't even chat to me, bro. You just assumed that I was this because you saw this on that.
Someone said this to you?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Seriously?
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I've got that in my life as well. Like,
Is
they
that a race
they,
thing,
They
though?
see a
No,
beard and go,
Okay,
I'm
I'm
just
with
saying
you.
this is on a human level.
Oh, I
like,
get you, yeah.
And this is what I mean. We're all human beings.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but people look at you and go, "Oh, I thought you were a little bit like this. I thought you were like that."
Yeah, I've had
and I'm
that
like,
before, yeah.
but when we're chatting now, you feel me? And I'm like, and they're like, yeah. And that's only because you've given me an opportunity.
You need to break the wall down, man.
Right, and
Just
that's the
break wall
level.
down.
And I always think, okay, racism. Okay, why are these people like this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's paranoia and massive insecurities
Yes.
and hate.
And preconceptions.
Bro, these man, okay, put it this way, yeah?
Yeah.
Just I carry love with me everywhere I go,
Yeah.
right? And I don't feel anything, bro. Right?
Yeah.
And when I say I don't feel anything, I mean it feels light. Right? So I was thinking, what must it feel like, yeah, to just carry hate around? Bro,
Heavy,
it
bro.
must be heavy, bro. Yeah, we're starting out the camera, by the way, guys. He's always just tapping him like
Okay, we're all going.
discreetly.
We're all going.
Heavy, bro. And I'm like, no wonder, bro. No wonder. You can't sit here and speak with someone else because of the color of the skin. That doesn't make sense.
And this is
you're tapped.
This is how Daryl Davis did it, right? He literally sat down for a drink with this white guy, and the white guy was like, "This is the first time that I've ever sat down with a black guy." And I had a drink and I had a conversation. Mate, how many racists could you reverse by just getting the racist, getting a black man in a room, having a conversation? No, like preconceptions about this or you're this and that. Just two people having a conversation.
Shall I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
I genuinely think whoever the powers that be are doing a great job of dividing.
Yes.
And not understanding. And again, it starts in school, right? Because this is a madness, right? Let's say there's set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, set 5, set 6, if you're set 8, how are you going to feel amongst your peers already? You're already divided, bro. So let's say you come out of school now and then you go into the real world. You're always going to think, I'm set 8.
Yeah.
I'm set 8.
Mate.
I'm set 8, bro. And then the set 1's like, I'm set 1, bro. I'm this, I'm that. And that's how you're already divided. You've already divided people. So a set 1 is not even going to try to understand the set 8. And the set 8 is going to go, he's set 1, I can't even talk to him. Or he's set 1, he's up his, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a divide there already, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Why don't schools understand this, bro? It actually makes me angry.
I get it. I do get it. Like, you need to teach children, like, in different children have different levels.
Yeah, based on their own.
Absolutely. But you can't. You've also got to teach the children that you're equal to this person. This person isn't good at this. This person isn't good at that. And you're good at this and you're good at that. And we're all good and bad at different things. Understand yourself and understand who you are, bro. If a teacher just said to me, right, I'm a young boy, I don't really believe in myself, I'm not really confident, and I go, look, listen, you need to understand that we're all at different levels and we're all at different stages,
Yeah.
And you get to your level, you're just an early turtle, yeah. Listen, if that kid heard that, and like, you just be kind to yourself, just as you're kind to others. If kids heard that every single day when they're learning in and out, right? Bro,
it's what we
need.
We need this, bro.
100%.
We need this.
It's the mindset, innit? It's the mindset. It will alter them growing up, and it'll stick in their minds,
Mindset,
innit?
bro. No, the thing is, bro, it's one of them things, bro. If I can sit here and have this Early Turtle podcast, and people can listen to it and go, I actually feel there's another teacher who's going to be listening in like wherever and go, I'd like to do the same. And at the end of the day, bro, if you can change the thoughts and notions of people around you, bro, that, you know how we say that the world is a small world, bro. What did you say to me? You told me a fact about
about the 6 degrees separation.
Yeah. That's bro. That's how it spreads.
For people who don't know what that is, you can pick any two random people in the world. They've tested this, and they know each other through 6 degrees of people.
Mental.
So like, I know Ralph knows this guy knows this girl knows this person 6 times, and you get to anybody.
Easy.
It's a small fucking world, bro.
So if I give you a really profound thought or a really stupid thought or something very, very funny, and I send it to you and I tell you something, and then you tell your mate, and then your mate tells his mum, and then that's how things, bro.
Mate, it's like a pandemic. It's a pandemic, bro.
Absolutely.
It's a disease, and diseases transmit.
Bro, the thing is, why the only disease that really is really good at spreading is evil. People are really good at spreading the bad news instead of the good news. Do you know what I mean?
The corporations know this happens, mate. That's why you're more likely to share something on Facebook or Instagram that you don't agree with, and you that vexes you out.
Yeah, more than
So if I see something and I'm like, I share it. You see it, and you're like,
That's how they control us, by the way.
Mate, it's true, man.
Fear, anger, and right. Okay, we're not. There's a lot of us out in this world, including. There's levels to it, but most of us aren't real critical thinkers. We see what we see and we react instead of going, oh, actually, let me just check out if that's an actual fact.
Yeah.
One, that saves you from wasting your energy being angry and whatever else, and you know, two, you're just like, oh, actually, yeah, it's real. Okay, cool. How can I share this in a non, like, I don't even know the word,
obtrusive,
a non-biased way?
Yeah, just put it out there and then go, okay, cool. Or maybe you don't even have to spread it, because that's how you do it. We spread hate by putting like all the bro. Rest in peace to, I don't even know his name, and this is how sick and tired I am of cops just killing black people.
George Floyd?
Not George Floyd.
No,
bro.
it was
Elijah McClain?
Is that the newest one?
No, that was.
Goodness me.
One sec.
Goodness
I'll
me. I can't believe I just said the newest
Jacob
one.
Blake.
It's like a new episode.
I think it's Jacob Blake.
That's
I think
it, Jacob Blake, yeah. You know, I've still not seen the video.
No, I can't watch those videos. I can't do it.
I can't watch, honestly. And the thing is, this is the bad bit about it. I've had to do it. This is not even, I'm not even exaggerating or anything, bro. I've had to swipe away from it as quick as I could at least 50 times
Really?
Since it started. And I'm like, this is being shared over and over again. You go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, and I'm like, why the hell am I not seeing like turtles swimming? Do you know what I'm saying? Or elephants, or like.
Mate, they're controlling us, bro. They put all this negative shit in the news. This is why I don't watch the news, bro. Like, I wish that there was a news outlet that like was positive. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah,
but it's true, man. It's like because it all comes down to human nature. Because they know that if they put something controversial or bad or triggering or upsetting or rage enduring, people are gonna respond to that more than if it's positive. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
But like, how do we change that, bro? How do you think we change that?
I was gonna be my question.
But you could ask me that. Yeah. Got you first, bitch.
Bro,
you about to put me on the
I
spot.
think it's all. How do we change that?
I'll be honest, mate. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's actually really sussed out like a real like something that we can apply and actually put it out there. Because we can all say, oh, this it's not good, but how do we actually sort it? I think we all sort it by understanding ourselves first.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
The easiest thing, like, and this is what I'm going to say to treat people how you want to be treated, right?
Yes.
100%.
Oh my god. Or treat people how you would want someone to treat your mother.
Absolutely.
Because like, there's been instances where like
you treat yourself quite badly.
There's been instances where like there's been a Karen in my life who's like just a random person who's like, you know, projected something negative onto me, and I want to be like, fuck you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
But then I thought, if that's my mum, I wouldn't want another person to say that to my mum.
Yeah.
And that's how whenever I'm about to respond to someone negatively now, I always imagine that it's like someone I love.
Yeah.
And would I want someone to be shouting at my poor granddad?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But you think about it as yourself as well.
So you just literally the answer. This is gonna sound so cliche, but there's a reason why it's cliche, because there's truth in things that are cliche, bro.
Yeah.
It's love. You said love. That's all we need to teach.
Yes.
Love isn't hard to teach.
It's not.
It's not hard. It's hard to understand because we don't get it. Some of us don't get it at home, or we might get a different version of it in a movie.
Because imagine your version of love is getting beaten by your fucking horrible father every night. That's what you think love is,
bro. I think everybody in this world, right, should watch documentaries, especially just, you know, like Louis Theroux. Everybody should watch every single one of his because, bro, I can't stop thinking of one of them. I think there was a heroin addict or whatever, or meth, or the prostitution and whatever. And these are all things that are poverty and racism and whatever. These are dark topics that people are scared to talk about.
Yes.
And we all of a sudden we look at them and we go, no, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to understand it. Well, if you don't understand someone who's dealing with addiction, how are you gonna I can't even talk.
No!
You're never going to be able to understand other things that isn't you and how you see the world if you can't really see it, bro.
We were saying this last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's all about perspective. Like, if you're not going through that, it doesn't mean someone else is.
Do you know what I mean?
Understand where they're coming from. And understand why they're acting or why they have these viewpoints. You know what I mean?
Empathize.
What were we talking about last time, man?
Empathize.
We were saying like, I can't stand here in front of a troubled person and say, look, man, this is how you need to sort your fucking life out. Because they're gonna look at me and say, well, how are you gonna tell me from your privilege?
Yeah,
blah,
from
blah,
your
blah,
background.
blah.
No, you've got 2 legs, by the way. It's like
Nobody can tell another person how to live their life. They just can't. You've got to understand other people, man. You've got because like, you know, a lot of people, including myself previously, have tried to understand the world based on your own perception of the world, and that's not how you.
You're
that's
just
not
looking
how
at
you
your
do,
own
bro.
picture, bro.
Yeah.
You're looking at your own picture, and you're like, oh, this is how I would have that picture. Actually, this is how I would have that. But bro, no, I can't afford colours. I can't afford crayons. I don't even know what this colour looks like. Do you know what I mean? There's people who are in completely different circumstances.
You can't
to us,
even
bro.
begin to
You
understand
wouldn't
what
even be able to imagine it. So
Yeah.
how the hell are you going to judge them?
Exactly, man.
I'm like, oh, I was watching it. I was like, lad, it's not good for you. It's destroying your life. La 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 la. But then they'll tell you that when I'm watching these documentaries, is what I'm saying. And then you're like, when he tells you a story, right? This is how it began. My dad used to abuse me, and my mum showed me a lot of love, and I didn't know which one. These 2 people were the ones who are meant to show me love. Do you know what I mean? For the first 7 years of my life, that's my understanding. So
it's conflicting.
it's really conflicting. I don't know where to go, and I'm like, okay, I understand why you would turn to hard drugs or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Violence.
It's just understanding, trying to understand
100%.
people.
Well, I think the moral of the podcast is that, you know what, we just need to love each other more.
We need to love each other, bro.
That's
We need to be
all.
nice to each
We
other,
need
bro.
to empathise with each other a lot more.
Empathise
With
love.
yourself as well.
And all you need to do is like hear someone describing what we've just described, and the next time you're in a situation where you're about to respond negatively, just think about it, man.
Just think.
Just fucking think about it. Like don't
Literally.
react with your ego. React with your thoughts
Yeah,
and your
Exactly.
empathy.
It takes a minute just to think about something before you can respond.
Yes.
I always say to anyone whoever gets into an argument with somebody, sometimes you not responding at all is exactly what they didn't want to
It's
see.
the best response, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Response.
Sometimes just ignoring it and being like, you know what, you needed to rant off.
Yeah.
That's
Have that.
maybe
Do
that's
the
the
thing.
response
Leave it.
they need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need to respond to you because I know responding to you is just going to fuel you even further.
Yes.
It's going to give you
Ignoring
even more,
it
bro.
will
It's
literally
good.
just be like, oh, fair dues, whatever.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing with some people don't know how to react when they're met with silence. Do you know what I mean? That absolutely breaks them. I'll tell you something I've learned in university about human beings. I'll touch on it one day when I'll have you guys on my podcast.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
We're gonna
Yeah,
do this, man.
man.
That's gonna be a sick podcast. I'm not gonna lie to you
Mate,
because
they're all gonna
I'll
be
have
sick.
questions for you. But it's there are people who are very, very intelligent,
Yeah.
very clever people out there who their games and the characters of their games are you and me. Human beings. There are people who play with other people, and it's the maddest thing ever, bro. You notice it. Like, now that I've told you that now, you notice people who are like, he's saying that just to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If they expect it, yeah.
Yeah. They'll learn a lot about you and learn about who you are as a character. Pleasure, bro.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure. More loving that, man.
Honestly, it's been nice meeting you here today
We
as
should
well.
do this every week, you know?
Mate.
So
Yeah,
just
but-
to kind of end off the podcast, we've had an amazing conversation, and obviously next time we're going to be on the
Yeah, actually, to
early
be fair, we
settle.
didn't even say goodbye, bro. Like,
So-
yeah.
I did.
Oh, you did.
He was like, I need the toilet in a bit.
It's all about me, bro.
But honestly, it's been good having you, Ralph. So
Thank you.
obviously, I want you to you started out your podcast, shout it out.
Early Turtle Podcast. I hope you enjoy it. It's just the Early Turtle Podcast on Instagram. Thank you for having me, man. It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure,
man. Honestly, it's a pleasure.
It's amazing.
You're welcome anytime, lad. That's what it is on our
Man, I'll be
podcast.
coming back over and
So
over again.
we'll just shout out
You're
our
gonna get really
podcast.
annoyed.
Obviously at the Source Code Podcast on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube and obviously all the audio platforms. Check out myself on Instagram at SAJADMIAH.
Yep.
Mate, check out the podcast that me and Ralph did, man. It was a sick conversation,
It's
bro.
got experience as well. You can
Mate,
find that on the Early Turtle Podcast.
the best feedback that I had was someone saying, how long you guys know each other for?
That is mental.
I was like,
that's crazy.
one day.
One day.
Literally, bro. It was just an hour.
Yeah.
I was here and it was like, I really, you know, when I'm like a child, bro. I'm like a little kid when I see stuff like this, technology stuff. I'm really into technology.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really wanted to try out the microphones, and I'm like, here, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we had the best.
What did you think,
ever.
man, to recording in the studio? Even today as well.
Amazing experience, bro. I think here it's just very homey. Do you know what I mean? With the couches and whatever else.
Yeah.
Like, you forget that you're actually doing a podcast. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what brings the
It's the vibe, innit?
the
It's
vibes and
I like
everything
it,
going,
man.
bro. There's a flow here.
I like no distractions, no phones,
bro.
no other people, no
Swap
this.
it away. Swap
is
it
fun.
away, bro.
But yeah, we're
Yeah,
back
man.
soon. JACOBRS, Liverpool Podcast Studio. Shout out if you want to rent the studio.
Check out the ting, brother.
Check out the ting. Take care.
Right, we done now?
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Boom.
Easy.